and viruses affect humans like that.
All right. What are hosts then? Hmm? Those are parasites. What are hosts then? Can it be someone else? Someone else tell me what is host? Or the same person? Did you guys do the homework I gave you all? All of you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Varshit, you were in their last class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're a new joinee?
No, ma'am. I joined last year or something.
Okay, fine. Okay, Kritvik, can you tell me the answer for the first question that I've given you as a homework? What is the questions I gave? Can you tell me?
I do fast nitrogen.
Okay, what is the answer?
Ma'am, farmers use nitrogen-rich fertilizers to improve the plant growth, ma'am, to the green part of the plant.
Only for plant growth?
Plant growth and
Anubhav, what did you write?
ma'am, I have not joined the previous class.
Okay, only Kritvik was there last class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the second question's answer you've written?
Explain how the Venus flytrap gains its nutrients.
Okay, what is the answer?
Yes, ma'am. The Venus flytrap gains its nutrients by draining all the nutrients from the insect slowly, and after 10 days, it releases the oil.
Repeat the last line again.
Last line. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, after 10 days, it releases the oil.
Okay, I want you to write it in detail because you should write there are small tendrils that are present inside the opening of the Venus flytrap, which act like sensors that when touched by an insect, it sends signals to the plant, which helps the plant in closing off itself and capturing the insect. And then only should it drains its nutrients for 10 days. I showed you the whole video, right? You just wrote 1 or 2 lines. How will that be enough? Okay. All right. So I'll just brush up, like, since both of y'all weren't there last class, I'll just brush up whatever was taught last class. So listen very carefully, both of y'all. So I'm not going to take iodine test and all. This and all you can see where in the class recordings y'all can just check, okay? Since host and parasite is important, I'll just repeat that part again. So host is something on which something feeds on. Like for example, COVID bacteria. It is feeding on you. So you are the host and the COVID bacteria is the parasite. All right. So here we saw a pitcher plant and a Venus flytrap. These two are like insectivorous plants. They call insectivorous plants because they feed on insects. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. Okay. So here you can clearly see the plant is eating the animal over here. The plant is feeding on the animal. So the plant becomes the parasite which feeds on the animal, whereas the animal is the host. All right. And other than that, we saw that there is like a lot of abundance in air. You know, in air there is like hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, smoke, pollutants, a lot of stuff that is in the air. Okay, so you're going to know how does nitrogen reach the plant. Carbon dioxide and oxygen, it reaches the plant through photosynthesis, but nitrogen does not reach the plant through photosynthesis. So how does it reach? That is what we're going to see. So nitrogenous substances that reaches the plant through the soil. So the farmers, they use nitrogenous fertilizers in order for the plant to get nitrogen. All right. So, and Kritvik, the answer is not just to, what is the answer that you wrote? Nitrogen question, what did you write?
To promote the plant growth.
Yeah, that is not just the answer. It is for gaining proteins and fats. That is the main answer. I don't know why you didn't write that. Okay. So here you can clearly see what I have, like 1 minute. Guys, 1 minute. Yeah. So these nitrogenous substances, here you can see carbohydrates are there, proteins are there, fats are there. Okay. So in order to make like some dish you have to make, means what all you need? You need all the ingredients, right? You need salt, pepper, water, milk, like you need different ingredients of making something. Similarly, for making carbohydrates, you need carbon dioxide, oxygen, and hydrogen. Carbon dioxide and oxygen you get from the air. Carbon dioxide, oxygen you get from the air, that is for photosynthesis. Whereas hydrogen you get from water. So these are the ingredients for making carbohydrates. Okay. So similarly, in order to make proteins and fats, you need nitrogen. For that nitrogen only, the farmers are using nitrogenous rich fertilizers. So these nitrogenous rich fertilizers, and you're watering the plant or anything, what will happen? There is certain bacteria that is present in the soil. Okay. Like for example, you are eating a carrot. You won't just bite a carrot and swallow it, right? You grind it using your teeth and then you swallow it. So you eat it in such a way that your body can absorb it easily. Similarly, the bacteria that is present in the soil, these nitrogenous substances that is present in the soil in the form of fertilizers, there is some bacteria in the soil that converts this nitrogen in a more simplified form. See, I've given air and soil. In a more simplified form, this bacteria will convert it so that this nitrogen can easily be transported through the root and to the stem and to the leaves and different parts of the plant. All right. So I have also given examples of parasite and host. So there's a parasite called Cuscuta parasite. These Cuscuta parasites, they are like small veins. Okay, and you very much know that the green plants is the one that makes their own food, and the non-green plants don't make their own food. So these non-green stem kind of things, they start growing on the green plants and they start sucking all the nutrients from the green plants. This is the image over here. You can see like a yellowish kind of thing. It's not actually green, but it's yellow. So these light yellowish or non-green veins are called Cuscuta. So they do not have chlorophyll. So they gain all the nutrients from the green plant. So it basically kills the plant. Okay. So Cuscuta feeds on green plants. So the parasite and the host. Lion feeds on zebra, parasite and host. Bacteria and viruses that feeds on human being or depend on human beings. Again, back the parasite and the host. Okay. So last time I showed Kritvik. Kritvik and one more person was there. Who was there? I think he joined at the last moment. Anubhav, you joined at the last moment, right?
Ma'am,
Varshit, sorry. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I showed you the video of how the Venus flytrap works. The Venus flytrap, it just opens and closes basically. So inside, when it opens, there are small tent. It's like the Venus flytrap. You know, why do insects go to the plants? It's because of the nectar, the honey that they have, right? So the Venus flytrap also has its honey. So the insects go and nicely feed on them, and there are small hair-like substances present on top of the Venus flytrap, which like acts like sensors. So or 2 or 3 times these insects touch these hair-like substances, these flytraps will snap close. Okay, it will snap tightly it will close, and 10 days it will not open. The plant will feed on these insects for 10 days, and you can see over 10 days it opens, and the insect is almost like bluish color, which is all the blood and every nutrients is being like taken out by the plant. Okay, so this is how it works. Now let's any doubts so far for the ones who weren't there last class? Did you understand? I want a yes ma'am or a no ma'am. Okay, I don't want you all to be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so today what we'll be seeing is we'll be seeing about saprophytes. Have you all heard this term saprophyte anywhere?
No, ma'am.
None of you? Nobody from the three of you have heard this word? All right. So you would have seen small packets of mushrooms and all they're sold in vegetable markets, right? So you may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing on moist soils or on rotting wood during rainy season. Have you all seen that in mushrooms and all growing in your neighborhood during rainy seasons?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these substances, or you can see like basically what is there? Small moisture is there. You have little of amount of water over there, and this darkness. Okay, like in moist in corners, you know, it will be growing, not in wide open areas. In corners only these mushrooms will all start growing. Okay, so they are like basically umbrella like structures, right? So these mushrooms are called as basically fungi. Okay, you have heard this term, right? Have you heard fungi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the mode of nutrition, you know how we eat. How do we eat? We consume plants or animals, right? Through our mouth. How does the plants eat? By making their own food. So the different types of nutrition, you know, that is present. Heterotrophic nutrition. What is the other type? Heterotrophic nutrition, and we saw two types of nutrition. Why guys don't know this simple question? What is all this? What is all this? I taught you all, no. Autotrophic and heterotrophic. What means autotrophic? What means autotrophic, guys? Anubhav, can you tell me what is autotrophic?
Ma'am, the living organisms that can make the food by their own. Example, plants.
Okay. And what is heterotrophic, Ritvik?
Traffic can't make their own food. They depend on others.
Example?
Ma'am, like we humans.
All right. Okay. So now we have a third type of nutrition, that is only saprophytic nutrition. Okay. Saprophytic. All right. Or since I'm writing the full term nutrition, you can also call it saprotrophic nutrition. All right. So these organisms are called fungi and they have different mode of nutrition. What they do is they absorb the nutrients from the moist area that they grow on. Okay. Now, for example, near your doorknobs, not exactly your doorknobs, in an open garden area, if there is a door, in the door side, you can see all the dust and dirt and all getting accumulated over there. There only these mushrooms and all will grow. Okay. So the dust and dirt, pollutants, everything that is accumulated over there, these mushrooms, they will grow there and they will feed on these dust and dirt. All right. So these dust and dirt, they might have dead ants, dead bees, and all that. So from them, these plants will get the nutrition. So basically, the fungi gets nutrition from the dead. Okay. from the dead cells only, or decaying matter? Dead or decaying matter? Okay, from them only these fungi will feed on. Okay, that is the mode of nutrition. So what will you write for the definition of saprotrophic nutrition? Saprotrophic nutrition is carried out by the fungi, where the fungi's mode of nutrition is by feeding through dead and decaying matter. This is how I want you to write your answer. Okay, I don't want to simply write fungi, dead, decaying matter. That's not how you're supposed to write. Okay, saprophytic nutrition includes fungi consuming nutrition through dead and decaying matter. Okay, that is how you're supposed to write it. All right. So such organisms with saprophytic mode of nutrition are known as fungi or saprophytes. Okay. So if the fungi are called saprophytes, what are we called? Any brilliant people here? Varshit, can you try?
What, ma'am?
If saprotrophic nutrition carrying organisms are called saprophytes, what are we organisms called? Kritvik? Anubhav? It's there in the word itself. No, saprotrophic are called saprophytes. Then we are called heterotrophs. Plants are called autotrophs. Okay, that's it. Why? What is there to think so much? Okay, another example, it's not only just the mushroom over here. You can see if you're leaving a piece of bread in a dark area or in your fridge itself for a long period of time, it's crossed its expiry date or anything. You take from your fridge, you keep it out. After for a long period of time, you can see small green color substances that is growing on top of the bread mold. Right? Have you noticed this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so these green substances that grow on the bread mold are called fungi. Okay, so these fungi plant, they're also plants. Okay, so what they do, they feed on the bread. Okay, the bread is expired, that is, it is dead. The cells of the bread are dead, so it is feeding on them. Okay, and that is why the fungi are called as saprotrophs. Okay, fungi also grow on pickle, on leather, on cloth, and other articles that is left in hot and humid weather for a long period of time. It's an important thing to note. So where do they grow? They grow on cloth, leather. I'm not writing examples here. Okay, cloth, leather, pickle. So any hot and humid weather for a long time. There you can definitely see the fungi or the saprophytes that is growing. Okay, during rainy season they are spotted on many things. Okay, so I want you all to ask your parents, this is your homework. Okay, I want you all to ask your parents about if there's any fungi that has grown in your household or in your local area, and if this fungi has been a problem in your house. Okay, note on the question. Has fungi during monsoon been a problem in your household? Okay, the rest of the things that I've taught so far, note that also down, and quickly let me know. It's only small topic I've taken so far, so quickly let me note it down and let me know if you're done. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Quickly note it down. மா நீ சாப்பிட நான் வர கொஞ்சம் டைம் ஆகும். நான் வந்துட்டு 6:10க்கு வரேன். அப்போ 6:20க்கு வரேன். Don't be quiet. If you're done, just please let me know, okay? Done. What about the two of you remaining?
Yes, ma'am, done.
All right. All of you are done, no? Just let me know if you have to wait. If I have to wait, okay. I hope all of you are done. Okay. So in some areas, now you know that, do any of you know what is pollination? Have you heard the term pollination?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what is pollination.
Pollination is the process of transferring pollen feathers.
Basically pollen grains.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you all very much know that there is something called pollen grains. These pollen grains, when they fall to the ground, that is basically the soil, what happens? What will happen? It will germinate into a plant, right? This is how the plant grows, through pollination. You're aware of that, right? So similarly, like in order for any plant to grow, you either need a spore. You need a small thing called a spore. Okay. So here, this pollen grain is the spore over here. All right. So if you're putting a seed and you're watering the plant every year, seed is the spore. Okay. So from the small spore, only the whole plant will be growing. Okay. So you know that the fungi is again green in color, which makes it a plant again. So fungus is a plant. So how does fungus grow? Fungus grows again through spores. Okay. These small spores are present in the air. Okay. And these fungal spores, generally they're present everywhere in the air. Okay. It's normally there in the air. And these are called fungal spores. Okay. These fungal spores, when they land on, now I've shown over here example of pollination. These pollen grains, they land on soil. Okay. If the pollen grain lands on my bed, the plant is not going to grow on my bed. Okay. So where it should fall, there is a specific place. If this falls here, this is what grows. Okay. So if the pollen grain falls in the soil, a plant grows. If it falls somewhere else on my laptop or on my iPad, it doesn't work like that. Okay. Similarly, the fungal spores, if it falls on the soil, the fungus won't grow. It will grow on the soil. If it is a hot or a warm or a spongy soil, then it will grow. So remember the condition. Okay. So what will happen? It will grow on this place should be wet and warm. What will happen? They will germinate and they will grow. Okay. So I hope, so remember this and try to answer this question. Okay, it will be easier for you all. Okay, and yeah, and I want all of you all to write the answers and come. I want you to write it. I'll ask you to send it to my WhatsApp on our next class, which will be Monday. Okay, so once these fungal spores and all grow, on what object they grow, they will feed on that object. For example, this wet and warm region, if this region is a bread, it will feed on the bread. Okay, if this region is a cloth that has a dead material or dead, dead insect or something, it will feed on that. Okay, so in some cases, some organisms live together, and what they do, they share both shelter and nutrients. Okay, so for example, there is a fungus that is present in the inside the root of the plants. Okay, for example, if this is the root, inside the root there is a fungus that lives. Okay, what this fungus does, it will provide enough rich water supply for the roots. Okay, and what these roots will do in return, these roots will provide all the nutrients to the fungi. Okay, listen carefully again. There is a certain fungi that lives inside the roots of the plants. The plants provide nutrients to the fungus, and in return, the fungus provides water and certain nutrients. So it's like the fungus is providing the plant, and again, the plant is providing the fungus. So they're taking care of each other. So you can see over here, the interdependence is over there. Okay, so if basically if the fungus survives, the plant will also survive. If the fungus dies, the plant will also die. It is dependent on each other. Okay, like for example, your dad works in the family. Your daddy is working. Only because your dad is working, he is able to feed you all. Okay, just because he is able to feed you all or get all the groceries and supplies, only because of that your mother is able to cook. Right? So your dad is earning, your mom is cooking. Your mom needs also food to survive, your dad also needs food to survive, and this food that can be get only from your mother, and the money can be got only from your father. So they are interdependent on each other. Okay, so this type of interdependent nutrition is known as symbiotic nutrition or symbiosis. Okay, this is an important question. What is symbiosis? Okay, so symbiosis. Now, this is an example I've given over here. Another example, this is also a very important example. Have you heard this term lichens? Have you heard this term anywhere? Yes or no? Okay, this is how why are you not answering? Hello, are you guys there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, yes, say yes or no. Okay, because I don't know if you're all there or not. Okay, so lichens are like, they're organisms, and no two are alike. Lichens are complex life forms that is symbiotic partnership of two separate organisms, a fungus and a algae. Okay, so you can see all this small lichen kind of thing. You can see the green things that is growing on top of the plant. Okay, these are called lichens. Now let's notice what is algae. Okay, so algae is defined as a group of predominantly aquatic, photosynthetic, and nucleus bearing organisms that lack true roots and stems, leaves, and specialized. So you can see over here, it doesn't have a proper body. It's just like a small cell. Okay, it doesn't have a body, it doesn't have hands, it doesn't have a root, there's no leaves, but it behaves like a plant. It has chlorophyll, it can make its own food. It's like that. It is photosynthetic. It has a nucleus. You know what is a nucleus, right? Do you know? Do you know what a nucleus is? Class. Kritvik, what is a nucleus?
I have no idea. Nucleus. I mean, never heard about.
Okay. So if you all don't know, just tell me you don't know. Don't wait for me to call your name. Okay. Every living organism, every living, tiny living to biggest elephants and whales to us human beings, every single organism is made up of cells. You all know that, right? The whole body is made up of cells. Okay. And each cell in our body, even this minute when I'm talking, every cell in my body is doing its function. It's gathering the blood from the heart. It is sending oxygen to my lungs. It's making oxygen pass through my nose. My eardrums are working. My eyes are seeing. My hands are moving when I'm teaching. When I'm writing again, my hands are moving. So every second, millisecond, my cells, every cell of my body is working. There are millions of cells in my body. Okay, like millions of cells. I can't sit and count it. Okay, there is that many cells. For each cell, this is a cell, for example. For each cell to function, inside a cell, there are many tiny structures that is present inside a cell. Okay. So one important structure, like we have the brain. Can we function without the brain?
No, ma'am.
No. So the brain is the main powerhouse. Without the brain, we are better as dead, right? So similarly, the cell is like the body. So the nucleus is the brain of the cell. Without the nucleus, the cell is dead. Without the cell, we are dead. Okay. So there are millions of cells also dying every minute. But at the same time, new cells will be growing in our body also every second. Okay. So this is the brain of the cell, which is the nucleus. Okay. So why I'm telling nucleus now is, coming back to lichens. Lichens are basically algae. Okay, or alga. What these algas are, they are same like plant, but in cell form. That is only the only difference. Okay, plants have roots, stems, leaves, and everything. Algae or alga don't have roots, stems, and leaves. That's the only difference. It doesn't have a proper body. It's just like a small cell. Okay, it has a nucleus and everything. Okay, these alga, when they grow in this region, one minute. Yeah, these alga, you can see it's growing on top of another plant. Okay, you can clearly see that. Okay, but this region has fungus. Okay, this is an alga. Look carefully. This region is a fungus. This is an alga. So you can see an alga that is a lichen is growing on top of a fungus. Okay, so what does lichens do? These green lichens, what is the green color because of? Green color is because of presence of?
Ma'am, chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. So these lichens, they have chlorophyll, and you all know that alga is almost like, sorry, fungus. It feeds on dead matter. Okay, so these lichens are as chlorophyll containing partners, and this fungus, they live together. What this fungus will do is it will provide shelter and water and all for the minerals, water, shelter, everything the fungus gives. So fungus provides shelter, water, minerals. Whereas the lichens, it provides in return food. This food is prepared from photosynthesis. Whereas fungus cannot photosynthesize because they are not autotrophs. Okay. So I hope you'll understand. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see this relationship is again symbiotic relationship. All right. Am I clear? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I want you all to just note it down. Okay. And I'll be back in by 6:30. Okay. By that time, I want you all, like any of you all, to explain how the lichen and the algae works. You can use your network, you can use anything. So how does the lichen and the fungi, lichen and fungi symbiotic relations? Simple terms, I told all this. I want you to tell me in detail how they function. That is your question. Okay. Coming. Okay. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Note it down and I'll come and ask you questions. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all done copying? You all can turn your cameras on and unmute yourself. Are you all done copying and finding the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anubhav, can you tell me what did you find?
Ma'am, lichens and fungi work in a symbiotic relationship while fungus provides lichens to the shelter, water, minerals, and the fungi breaking down the organic matter and releasing nitrogen, oxygen to the soil and the atmosphere.
Okay. That's very good. Fungus, you can see additionally what he has found is it's extra information. You can see what he has found. Fungus, it is releasing. What is the gases it's releasing?
Ma'am, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus.
Oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus is being released to the air. That's what he has found out. Very good. But this is not related to symbiotic relationships. This is the contribution of fungus to the other atmosphere. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Kritvik, now you tell me, what did you find?
I found that lichens interdependent. Lichens and fungus interdependent on each other. Lichens as food and photosynthesis, and fungus as shelter, water, and minerals. And I found this.
This is what I've already thought, right? What is something new? Give me something new. You just told the same thing what I've written over here. Okay, it's all right. What is your name? I'm sorry, just whoever I left out. Can you just tell me your name again? Yeah, Varshit. Sorry, Varshit. Tell me, what did you find?
Ma'am, I found that leeches are another such partnership for fungi to get nutrition from other organisms. The algae partner photosynthesize and provide food for the fungi so it can grow and spread, and leeches help algae for shelter, water, minerals, and other things.
Okay, all right. So it is basically the same thing again, whatever I told. He just told it in a more elaborated and a more simplified form. Okay, so I hope you all are very clear with this symbiotic relationship or symbiotic nutrition. I hope no doubt is there, because symbiosis is a very important topic of this lesson. Is it clear, everything to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we're going to see how nutrients are replenished in the soil. Can you all tell me what is the meaning of replenished? It can be anything, because it's a complete new word to you all. So when you hear this term replenish, what does it mean? Tell me.
Ma'am, I think it is mixing.
Okay, he's saying it means mixing. So how the nutrients are mixed in the soil. Okay, who said this?
Ma'am, Anubhav.
Okay, very good, Anubhav. What about the rest of y'all? At least he tried. Be it right or wrong, I want you all to just come up. Whatever. What do you feel when you read the sentence? What does the word replenished mean? Krithvi, give it a shot.
Is it absorb?
Okay, Krithvik says absorb. Okay. What about you, Varshit?
Ma'am,
Fill. Did I hear it right? Is it fill?
Yes, ma'am.
How the nutrients are filled in the soil. Okay. Good try, all of you. Okay. So replenish, basically it means replace or to use. Okay. So how are the nutrients used in the soil? That is the meaning of replenished. Okay. So new word today, replenished. Okay. So you can use the word replenish in your everyday life also. Okay. How are you replenishing my knowledge that I'm teaching you all right now? How are you using my knowledge for gaining knowledge? Okay, so replenish means use. Okay, so have you seen farmers spreading manure or fertilizers in the field or in the gardens that they use in the lawn? So why do they put these fertilizers and why do they use these manure and all? What is this fertilizer and manure? Is it necessary that you have to put it?
Ma'am, I think it is dependent on the soil.
No, my question is, why are farmers using fertilizers and manure? Why is it needed?
Ma'am, it will help the uh, plants to grow well, ma'am.
Okay, he's saying it helps the plant to grow well. Okay, what about the rest of y'all? Just give me whatever. Why do you think fertilizers and manures are used?
Ma'am,
Give
I
me more.
think it helps to absorb the plants more nutrients.
Okay, to absorb more nutrition. What else? Give me more.
To photosynthesize.
Photosynthesize. Why are fertilizers needed for photosynthesis? That the plants itself can do, right? Good try, but give me more. Think more.
Yes.
I already told this somewhere here. Think. Nothing else? Nobody knows why fertilizers are used. Okay, all right. So actually these 2 points are completely correct. Okay, so basically fertilizers are used in order to provide healthy plants, in order to grow healthy, rich plants. Okay, so these fertilizers, now yeah, there is rain, there is monsoon and everything that is helping for the growing of the plants, but enough nutrition. Now us also, we can eat normal, we can drink milk, we can have water, just eat bread and we can survive. Okay, it's not necessary we need to have chicken, we need to have fish in order in order to survive. If we don't have chicken, fish, not, then we're going to die. Okay, but instead we have chicken and fish. Why? Because we need enough nutrition. We need to be healthy. Okay, our purpose is not only to survive, but in order to be healthy. Similarly, the plant's purpose is not only to survive, it is to be a healthy plant. Okay, not a spoiled plant. So in order to grow these healthy plants, these farmers use fertilizers and manures. So these fertilizers and manures are helping the plants grow well, means they have something special, right? That special component that fertilizers and manures have are special nutrients, and these nutrients are nothing but nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, minerals, all potassium, minerals, and all the required nutrients the fertilizers and the manures have. Okay, so regularly these farmers should properly use from time to time. They have to put manures to the plant in order to grow well. Homework question: will plants be super healthy and rich in nutrients if a large amount of Okay, I hope if my question is clear. Will the plants be super healthy and rich if the nutrients, rich in nutrients, if a large amount of fertilizers are used on plants at a time? So from time to time, plants should get nutrients, that is through fertilizers. So if a large amount of fertilizers are being put at one time, will the plant be very, very healthy and rich in nutrients? That is my question. So again, this I'll be checking your note. With the question, I want the answer. Okay. So wait, note the question down later. I'll just finish this part. Okay. So how you're watering the plants. Similarly, we need to like provide fertilizers and manures to the plants in order to get healthy plants. These nutrients, they should be added from time to time to enrich the soil. So you know that these manures and fertilizers, all of this, where it goes? It goes to the soil. Okay, so this soil, what it becomes? It becomes rich in nutrients. So only if the soil is rich in nutrients, it can send all the nutrients through the root and then to the plant. Okay, so we can go grow plants and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the nutrient requirements of the plant. Okay, now for example, if a man is very, very healthy, okay, he's super strong, he has 6 packs, okay, he has nice rich hair, okay, he's like that. And nearby him, there is another man, similar age. He, do you know, have you heard this term, kwashiorkor?
Yes, ma'am.
What is kwashiorkor?
Ma'am, it is a type of deficiency disease that occurs when the proteins and vitamins are not at adequate amount.
Very good, very good. Okay, so you can see over here, kwashiorkor, there's even a disease called marasmus. So nearby the healthy man, there is a person having kwashiorkor or a nutrition deficiency disease. So, and you have a nice chicken platter with vegetables and fried chicken or boiled chicken, you have good chicken, okay. Would you go and feed the healthy man or would you go and give the nutrient less person?
For the nutrientless person.
For the nutrient-less person. Similar, same situation for the plants. Okay, so you know that this person has enough nutrition, he can survive. This person doesn't have enough nutrition. So there is a nutrition level that the plants should have, similar to human beings. Certain amount of nutrition we need in order to be healthy. Same thing, certain amount of nutrition plants need in order for them to be healthy. Okay, now we can, what if we are growing a curry leaf plant at home, you'll water it regularly. The same thing, you're having a cactus plant, you'll water it once a month because it can survive without water. Similarly, nutrition also works like that. So you should know how much of nutrition you are supposed to like provide the soil for them, for the plants to grow well in that soil. All right, so usually these crop plants, they absorb a lot of nitrogen and the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Okay, so that is why you're supposed to put like nitrogen rich fertilizers for the crops. What are the crops? Crops are rice, wheat, oats, all the staple diet that we have every day. Okay, so what they do, they consume a lot of nitrogen from the soil. Okay, so what will happen if we don't put fertilizers? All the nitrogen from the soil will be taken and there will be no healthy plant growing. Okay, so you've already learned in the before, like I already taught you here clearly. Farmers, they use nitrogen rich fertilizers. Why? For the bacteria in the soil to break the nitrogen particle down for easy consumption and to produce protein and fats. All right, for that purpose only, you're using nitrogen rich fertilizers. Okay, so you learn that though nitrogen gas is available in plenty in the air, plants cannot use it directly, like how we're using carbon dioxide, like through photosynthesis. So they need a bacterium. I've clearly given here, you need a bacteria in the soil. Okay, I'll write it again here. this nitrogen is complex nitrogen, is converted into a simple nitrogen for consumption with the help of a bacteria. This bacteria is known as rhizobium. Okay, so rhizobium's function is your other question. What is the function of the rhizobium? Okay, quickly note that down, all of the homework and whatever I've taught so far. Okay, I want you all to note it down in 5 minutes quickly. Homework and whatever I taught so far. 3 questions are given for homework, which will be checked like next class.
Ma'am, done.
What about the remaining 2 of you?
Done.
Okay, fine then. So this is it for today's class. I hope today's class was clear. Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, sent homework to your WhatsApp.
Yeah, you can send it to me WhatsApp. Today's homework is fine. From next class, I'll ask you, and I'm asking you, I want you to send it to me. Or as soon as you're done, you can send it to me separately, not in the group, separately on my WhatsApp, you can send it to me. All right.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.